Hello, welcome to the Author's Corner, where we are speaking to one author in the e-media book, It Depends on You, about her life, clients, and how embracing her own life is affecting the world around her. My name is Denise Dominguez. I'm your host today. Beside me here is the one and only Antiqua Lisha. She is the CEO here at Your Own University, helping you see your genius and express it. So we're going to dive right in and deepen your experience with our featured book during the summit. If you have not received your copy of the It Depends on You media ebook, download yours today at yourownuniversity.org. How are you, Antiqua?
I'm good. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me and giving me an opportunity to share from this side of the screen. It's beautiful to be here.
Well, I'm used to being on this side of the screen, so we're good.
We're good. We're good. And thank you, everybody, for joining us today.
Yes. Thank you so much. So as I said, we all know that you're so busy. So let me get to our first question for you, Antiqua, and tell us what shifts in your life have you embraced your fulfillment?
This question is really, really profound for me because the shifts that I've embraced in my life have walked themselves out over the last, lifetime really. I'll say at least consciously at least 30 years and professionally for the last 20 years. And as I've learned through the 6 personal power zones that I love to teach and that we feature different coaches in and our programs through at Your Own University, I've grown through each of them. So what taught me most about my body, besides just growing up in an abusive environment where my body was utilized as something I didn't have power over, the real healing happened actually when I got cancer at 21. That's when the focus turned inside, and I had to start listening to my body as an instrument of consciousness for myself. And that was really beautiful. So for my body, it was this process at 21. The next personal power zone is your mind. And right after I had cancer, God, the universe, the world blessed me, which at the time felt like a curse, with adrenal failure. And at the same time, I got to spend time on an ashram. And as a contemplative Christian, I had spent a lot of time praying the rosary growing up. But I got to walk into this ashram and learn a lot about mantra. And I also started studying different forms of yoga, including a very physical practice, hot yoga, and then a very mental practice, which is also physical, but Ashtanga, which gave me a chance to breathe into my mantra, Jesus Christ, God and Savior, love through me and never cease. And breathe into part of it and exhale part of it and start to learn how to focus my mind. This process took years, but it began to slow my mind where now, for the most part, I can recognize what I'm thinking, if not direct it.
Right.
That's really important. The next part of your personal power zones is your energetic body. And energy is your emotional state. This is the part of us that literally acts as a magnet for when our coaches here are going to teach you in this summit about magnetizing your life and the law of attraction. And oftentimes our emotions are kind of wrapped up in everything. So I have celiac disease, and what taught me about how to control my emotions once I was okay feeling them all from my traumas in my past and going through that healing was my healing from celiac disease, because the imbalance in my hormones from my allergy to gluten really created my inability to have any control over my emotions. It was very real. Gave me a huge amount of respect for people who suffer from imbalance, because there is a lack of control that's truly happening. So once I saw that, the healing got to come in and take place. And then I started playing in my emotions. So within the Divine in 9 course, there's week 5 is all about wave. And it's about really dancing with your emotional state, whether it's anger, shame, guilt, those lower frequencies, all the way up to how much love, abundance can you accept in your life, and jumping into that. The next part of the 4 core personality or power zones is your spirit and the soul connection that you have within yourself. And this is where you download your connection with source, with God, however you define that for yourself, and the masculine and the feminine. So in this power zone, I've always been really strong. This power zone is what kept me alive when I was being abused as a child. This is the power zone that has been really steady. However, what happened, what really taught me here is, as I was stepping into my truth, I had the church kind of question me. The people in the church, I shouldn't say the church, but the people in the church lovingly questioned me. And there was a lot of drama there. And not only the church, but the people in the yoga community questioned me, all at the same time. So it was like all of my spiritual unfolding literally went poosh and disappeared. And I had to choose my own relationship, my personal relationship with God over all other. That was very, very challenging and very beautiful looking back at it. Some people call this the dark night of the soul. So that was beautiful. And so forming this personal relationship with your own relationship with God, and whatever that means and however that resonates with you outside of the dogma of religious doctrine and outside of people pleasing. It's really important for all of us individually. The next personal power zone is relationships. And oftentimes, I was looking at relationship when this really came up to me. I was looking at relationship, learning how to be a good mother, learning how to be a good wife, learning how to be a good Christian, learning how to be a good friend. By looking at what I thought my people needed from me. And this ended up in a lot of pain because I was wrong at what they needed. I wasn't true to myself. A lot of self-betrayal, which is one of the most painful things that we go through as women and men, is self-betrayal. And so what I did was I learned how to define myself in the roles that I play and show up very clear how I desire to show up as a mother, as a wife, as a coach. And one of the biggest transformations here was my divorce, because I knew when I got divorced, I knew I was being the kind of wife that I'd admire and respect. And so when when the marriage ended, it wasn't because I wasn't showing up my best. And I didn't have to take over responsibility for that, and I could accept that in that way. And that was a really beautiful transformation. And then the last phase really is purpose and stepping into your genuine purpose. This is where I love serving people through all of these phases, but this is like the one with all. This is the joining of all. And literally today, I'm walking through a new level of that truth for myself. And so this is your ability to receive and your ability to surrender wrapped up into one. This is the trusting of all of the other power zones into one.
Right.
And then there's actually 2 more power zones that I teach to my high level clients that you walk into afterwards, after this unfolding, or it's kind of a surrendering into yourself, the blossom happens. And we're constantly going through awarenesses through these phases. They're constantly calling our attention. So as I've walked through my life, I've developed Divine in 9 and taught it for the last 8 years publicly. And it's morphed into all of my other programs as well. It's these 6 personal power zones is a reclaiming of all of you. And I had to walk through it in order to offer it. And that's been my transformational journey.
And what a beautiful journey it is. Tough at times, but beautiful altogether. So, Antiqua, could you give us some top tips that you learned to live your life?
Yeah, absolutely. So my first tip for you listening is the awareness that these aspects of your life are yours. They're not somebody else's. Nobody else gets to define them. Nobody else gets to tell you how you should live this way. Nobody else gets to tell you what size clothes you should wear, how much water you should drink, what you need to eat. This is your life. You are the master of your body. You are the master of your mind. Nobody gets to tell you how you should think. Our parents do this. I've been going through this with my daughter. She wants to be in theater. She directs movies. She wants to act. She wants to sing. She wants to do it her way. And an influence in her life keeps telling her how she needs to be more reasonable. This is not me. So she's coming to me with this. And so we have our family trying to keep us safe all the time mentally and keep us in the box. But you get to decide your own box. And the sky's the limit. And really there is no limit because there is no sky. Right? The spaceships go through. We go right through the sky. So the sky is even an illusion. So that's really important for you to know. And emotionally, you're allowed to feel really great. What I found is my clients, through my trauma therapy clients, feeling like shit is easy. Most of us, we got that. We get the lower frequencies. We get the shame, the guilt, the pain, the struggle. We're taught that. We can do that. We see it in the news. It's out there.
All around us,
It's all around us. But how can you live into joy, happiness, love, abundance, wealth? How do we do that? That's a fun thing that I'm learning more and more. And the glass ceiling keeps raising, but it's there. It's there. It's there. I haven't reached my whoosh yet. It might be tonight. I'm open to that. It might be tonight, but as of right now, I'm like, yeah, maybe. I don't know where I'm at, but we get to do this so that your relationship with spirit is yours. Define it. You get to define how you show up. You can't define how everybody's going to show up or what they're going to do or how they're going to react. But if you know that you show up from a place of love and knowing, then however they react is their reaction. However they hear you is their mirror. We live in a holographic universe. And so, what is that mirror? What are they mirroring to you? We're all each other's teachers. We're all here to master ourselves. So you get to decide who you are. So knowing your roles that you play in your life, and as life goes on, your roles will change. Denise's kids are grown up now, so her role as a mother is shifting. Mine is shifting as my kids come into teenage years. I mean, it just shifts, you know,
Yep.
our roles. So know who you are and allow yourself to have this time of defining yourself and your roles. What does that look like for you in 2016? What does that look for you right now? And do it every couple months or every year.
Yes.
And so you don't have to carry around being every role. My role
Right.
as daughter doesn't look like it did when I was 5
Mm-hmm.
now.
Right.
However, I'll tell you, I acted like I was 5 and my role was still the same until a few years ago.
Mm.
You know, have you met
Mm.
that person that turns into the 5-year-old as soon as their mommy or daddy comes around?
We call it daughter energy. Yes. You're in
Yeah.
daughter energy. Yes.
Mm-hmm. How you shift that is you define who a daughter is
Right.
at 40 or
Right.
20 or 35 or 62. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you define that.
Mm-hmm.
And then your purpose will change
Mm-hmm.
as you step deeper into your purpose. What it looks like on the outside, your role within your purpose is going to shift. Your
Mm-hmm.
purpose might be being a mother right now or being a daughter right now. That might be that. Your purpose might be smiling right now. That's all you have at the moment. Then your purpose will morph and morph and morph into whatever you define it to be.
Exactly.
So my tip for you is to know the 6 power zones and really spend some time journaling within them and defining yourself.
Mm-hmm. Awesome tip. Love it. All right. So what is your mission now and how can we get involved?
Yeah, thank you. So my mission comes from John 17. And John 17, Christ says a prayer to Yahweh. He's praying to Father God, and he's just like, Lord, let them see that they're one with me as I am one with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's basically the point. And
Mm-hmm.
this is a passage that every time I say, okay, God, every time for like 20 years, every time I say, okay, God, what am I supposed to do with my life? Boom. I open up the Bible. I do this flop and plop thing, you know, where I open up my Bible and I say, what am I supposed to do when I grow up? And there it is. And I've been given new eyes to read it a couple times where I'm like, where am I? And I read this passage and I'm completely moved by it. Then I look up and I'm like, oh, it's John 17 again. Here we go.
Ah.
So this is really my purpose in life. This is my service, is to serve people to know and love themselves as God loves you
Right.
in your perfection. There's nothing to fix. He didn't make you broken. He didn't make you any old way. Like, you're made in the image of God, and you express that as you. You are
Mm-hmm.
you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like I had to do this alone for a number of years, but for me, building community and promoting people and helping people not only know this within themselves, but also express this knowing to the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so joining your own university is a way that you can join the community of people that are learning to express themselves at this high level of love,
Mm-hmm.
both as an internal journey towards love as well as an expression to the world as love. And then working with me is something that you can do if you feel called to. There's courses and support. There's different levels of membership. So if you're a coach, you can join the community of coaches and have a lot of support in getting your message out and be a part of our mastermind, and love that if it's in a line, if you're a personal development coach. And if you're not a personal development coach, or if you are a personal development coach and personal development is something that's important to you, you can study with the best, most amazing coaches around the world that have really stepped into this knowing within themselves at whatever level that is for them, whatever expression that is for them. And there's always openings happening for each of us. But you can study with Denise right here. You know, at your own university by joining us, and it's $14.95 a month to take workshops and join us live on these little workshops where our top coaches share with you their genius. You can get to know them and get to know yourself to step into more of who you are and feel that support of community saying, yes, you are worthy to love, you are worthy to know, and we're going to give you questions to take that even further and deeper and more expansive in all 6 personal power zones.
Yes. So awesome, Antiqua. I absolutely, I just adore you. So now how does somebody work with you? Did you just kind of answer that?
Not really. No.
Okay.
No.
So,
I said how you can join my movement. Yeah.
okay.
And I just want to kind of reiterate in the movement too, because I do a lot of work. I have a nonprofit too, the Game Changers Movement. So you'll find that giving back at your own university as well to learn more about joining me there if you're a youth that wants to help or a parent that wants to help solve world problems and give our youth significance and awareness. We're doing some amazing things. So your own university is just a beautiful place to join me.
Absolutely.
But how to work with me is different. So you can start by saying yes to yourself and going through the Divine in 9 course. It's an online course that we're promoting through this summit, and you can get that on this page here. And I have it listed for $197. It's usually, the home program is usually $497, so it's a huge discount. It's also a 2-pay option. And this is a program that has been award-winning, that has taken many people, hundreds of people, into a place of self-love. We focus on the 4 primary power zones, and we touch on the other 2. And you can take that further by working with me personally through a 12-week program, or you can, if you're seeing yourself, your mission, you can work with me through the Rising Star program to get your message out. So at your own university for personal development awareness, we have TV and radio, and I help people put together their programs and their books to get your message out and to shine.
Awesome.
And all of that information is available both here at your own university as well as in at antiqualisha.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So before we close, is there any last final words, or is there like a gift somewhere around there?
So yes, my gift to you really is this book and this summit. And I just want to be really clear with that. I've spent, literally a year
Yes.
visualizing it and putting it together. And yeah, it was a lot of patience waiting for the right people to come.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm so blown away by the book and the people that have shown up to teach at your own university. And this is really my gift and my offer to all of you, is this whole event. And I just want to thank you for already receiving it. And I want to thank you for being here. And I want to tell you how loved you are by each and every one of us. And I would love you to take each and every free gift and free offer. And if you just want something extra from me, I have my e-media book that I offer. It's Ageless Beauty, and it's 237 amazing tips for you to pamper and love yourself and step into who you really, really are. And you can get that. I'll put it on this page.
Yay!
I'll put it on this page. That's a free gift, but you can also get it at antiqualisha.com. Pretty much any time. That's
Awesome.
That's just a great tool for you. So yeah, thank you all for being here very much.
Thank you. And thank you, Antiqua, for always being there for me. And I just love working with you. You and your greatest asset, and knowing yourself, is the key to a fulfilled life. Everybody, thank you for joining us here at this beautiful summit that we've put together and the It Depends on You ebook. You are so amazing, and I'm so honored to be here interviewing you. This is like a on, off, on, off, on. And everybody, please stay tuned and join us for more interviews. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.